Have you ever had these words come out of your mouth, or maybe even thought them in your head? I wish I could care less. Or maybe, how do they not care more? Well, in this video, I am going to cover how to care less, but love more. Now, I'm going to give you a heads up. Your reason for caring may not be as noble as you think it is, but stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that bell, hit the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I release a new video on how to live and lead from a clean, free, loving place, not from a place of fear and control. As a coach, many of the clients that I've worked with have come to realize that they were confusing their control for care. And one of the things that I've helped them work through is learning how to separate out what's on them and what's not. And while it may be painful in the process, on the other side of it, they gained so much freedom. And not just that, they've gained the capacity to love on a deeper level and to love more freely, which actually gave them more influence on the people in their lives, which is really the thing that they wanted in the first place. Let's unpack a little bit more about what I mean when I say caring less, because I know that has some strong words to it. So oftentimes when I'm having this conversation and this idea of caring too much comes up, the connotation behind it often feels like caring has become a burden. Caring has become painful, like heart-wrenching painful. And maybe it's even caused some frustration or even resentment between you and someone else. Now, we can care genuinely and from a pure place and still feel some of those things. But when it starts to feel weighty and it starts to feel heavy, that right there is usually a red flag for me to dig a little deeper, to ask some more questions, and to see what else might be at play here. Here's a few examples that I see this play out. First off, in the people that we lead, whether that is a paid staff or even leading your kids at home. How many times do we see the potential in other people? And we want so badly, we care so deeply to see that potential come to reality that we overstep, we overgrasp, right? We try to grasp for control for their sake. That is actually overstepping what's ours and what's not ours. Another way I see this play out, and this is probably the one I see the most, especially in coaching, is in our marriages, in our spouses. How many times do we try to stop that behavior that our spouse is doing, and we say it's because we care? And let's be honest, of course we care a little bit, but if we were to dig a little bit deeper, how much of it is actually based in control and fear for our spouse? And so we're trying to control the outcome for them. So you can see that caring in this way is just a disguise. It's an excuse. It's a way that we justify holding on to control. You know, on the outside, it looks like a noble reason, maybe even a spiritual reason to put trust in ourselves over God. And so the problem is that this isn't actually caring, this is controlling. Now, I know that this can sound harsh, and I'm not gonna pull back because I know the freedom that comes when you can let go of control. And hear me when I say, I see your heart. You're probably not trying to control consciously, but many times driven, strong women, when we are feeling threatened, when we are feeling vulnerable, when we start to feel the threat of feeling out of control, we cope by grasping for control. And it's just not the way to do it. So while your heart may be in the right place, the way that we're trying to get the outcome is not the best way. Anyone catch themselves in their tendency to try to control in this way? Let me know in the comments. Comment me if this is you. When we try to control something that is out of our control, the result is resistance and stress. That's the reason it feels so frustrating. That's the reason it feels so heavy, because we're trying to carry something that is not ours to carry. We're trying to control something that is not ours to control. And yes, will caring for others hurt and be painful sometimes? Yes, but not in the same way. It doesn't feel as frustrating. It doesn't feel as weighty because we know we're not in control. And believe it or not, God actually gives us permission to care less in this way. The Bible says, cast your cares on him. And I have read this verse. You've probably read this verse. We know what it means. but I had a hard time internalizing it and actually practicing it in real life. Because when I would get the sense that God was asking me to let go or release something or trust Him for something, I felt like I wasn't keeping up my end of the bargain. I wasn't caring enough. But until I read this with fresh eyes and new revelation, I was actually able to receive the permission slip that God gives us to care less. So here's your permission slip. You can care less. And one of the ways that we can actively care less and cast our cares on Him is by praying more. If you genuinely want to care less, but love more and love more deeply and love more freely, then you get to pray first. This is our way of giving it back to the one who's actually in control. And this opens up wisdom for us to understand and know when to step in, when to say something, when to do something, but doing it from a clean, detached place, and when to stay out of it. This partners us with God instead of going rogue and doing it on our own way, in our own power and our own strength. See, this is fighting smarter rather than harder. It can be a lot easier to hear this stuff and even be aware of it than it is to actually sort it out on your own and change your patterns. So if you would like someone to help you separate out what is control, what is care, what is on you, and what is not, this theme of control is a deep theme throughout my entire coaching program. So email me and we can chat more about how it can help. And if you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe it for more videos just like it.